They say the blues was born in the Mississippi Delta, but Sinners suggests it was murdered there too. Ryan Coogler's Sinners isn't just a horror film, it's a ghost story about a culture bled dry, set in 1932, steeped in sweat, song, and southern soil. The film uncovers a terrifying truth buried beneath the juke joints, and that the real monsters didn't come from the woods. They came for the music. Some movies entertain, some unsettle. Sinners, Ryan Coogler's latest period horror, does both and then something else entirely. It warns. But about what? On its surface, it's a stylish Southern Gothic. Two twin brothers, both played with uncanny duality by Michael B. Jordan, return home to the Mississippi Delta in 1932 to start a juke joint, only to be met by vampiric forces feeding off the very music they came to revive. But dig deeper, and Sinners becomes less of a film and more of a message buried in celluloid, an encrypted cipher documenting a century-long heist of culture, soul, and sound. Coogler doesn't just direct this film. He orchestrates it like a blood ritual. Each frame bleeds symbolism. The vampires, pale, silk-suited record producers, creepy folklorists, and seductive club owners don't drink blood as much as they drain legacy, sound, and history. They steal the blues and sell it back sanitized, detached from its roots and pain, the conspiracy. It's real and hiding in plain sight. For decades, black music has been preyed upon, commodified, repackaged. The Delta blues, jazz, rock and roll, all genres that rose from black suffering and triumph, were quickly vampirized by industries that profited from the art while ignoring the artist. In Sinners, these figures are literally immortal, ageless, hungry, and bureaucratic. It's the first horror film that manages to indict an entire music industry. There's one scene, quiet, electric, that haunts me. Smoke, the more idealistic twin, plays a raw blues tune passed down by their grandfather. It's a song that no one has ever recorded, a piece of oral history. A white anthropologist, hidden in shadow, scribbles it down without asking. Moments later, that man disappears, but the tune resurfaces. On a radio show. In Chicago. Sung by someone else. Coincidence? Not in Sinners. Coogler knows better. The true horror isn't the vampires. It's the system that protects them, the one that praises black culture but punishes black people, the one that lifts the art and buries the artist. Sinners doesn't whisper this, it shouts it. And yet, buried beneath the grief and Gothic terror is a fierce, defiant heart. The juke joint becomes a sanctuary, blues becomes resistance, and vampirism. It's a metaphor not just for exploitation, but for the twisted immortality of stolen culture, how it haunts generations. Ryan Coogler has made more than a film. He's made a dossier, a confession, a reclamation wrapped in horror. Watch it with both eyes open and listen closely, because somewhere in that raw guitar riff, in that scream in the dark, is the sound of history fighting to be heard and not to be stolen again. The film uncovers a terrifying truth that the real monsters didn't come from the woods. They came for the music, but here's the catch: they never left. While Sinners paints its horrors in the shadows of Jim Crow and segregation, its sharpest scares come from what it reflects about now. This isn't just about blues being stolen in the past. It's about hip-hop producers locked in shady contracts, R&B legends erased from the charts, artists silenced while their sound is sampled, reshaped, and sold without credit. The film lifts the curtain on history, but the exploitation it reveals is still very much alive, just dressed in newer clothes. The vampires in Sinners wear fangs, but in the real world, they wear suits. If the bloodsuckers of the past stole the blues, who's feeding on today's sound? The industry keeps evolving, but the exploitation remains chillingly familiar. Sinners may be a period piece, but its message is timeless and urgent. If we don't recognize the patterns, we risk repeating them. Want more cultural deep dives, film breakdowns, and truth-telling beneath the surface? Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned,